A LAN event is shorthand for a tournament that's run in person instead of online. As of late, there's been a surge of offline events and a positive reception to them. So why are these events so good, and are online events even still viable? Before we get into the video, I just want to make it clear that 99% of the things said in this video are my opinion. What I enjoy isn't necessarily also enjoyed by everybody else. Pre-quarantine, I remember my mindset was if a one-day tournament wasn't in person, there really wasn't a point in running it. While probably not a very helpful opinion to have, it still showed how little I cared for the online events at the time. This changed drastically during the quarantine since offline events were no longer possible. Online events greatly broadened the range of people able to join tournaments, making new people regulars in events and making the community treat such events as the norm. So in short, quarantine prevented people from attending offline events, and instead of people just treating it like a fix to a temporary problem, it was accepted as the new normal way to do things. While in retrospect this may seem illogical, during quarantine nobody was really sure when it would end, so it makes sense to accept that way of doing things as normal. Plus, there was already a tournament scene for the website Tetris, since it wasn't built to be played offline. Post-quarantine, this new normal has stuck around. Now that quarantine is mostly gone, why have online events remained the norm? The biggest reasons are travel, cost, and people being uncomfortable meeting others in person. It's no secret that it's logistically challenging to attend offline events. By far, the biggest reason people are unable to attend offline events is because of the requirement of travel. The regulars of quarantine-era tournaments are dispersed all around the world, making travel both expensive and difficult. These expenses are also felt by the organizer, since you need to rent out a venue in order to have a place to run said tournament. The last reason is a little less straightforward though. People being apprehensive to reveal their face and voice is probably due to the fact that the Tetris community is very young, which I think is a responsible thing to do. In my opinion, you should wait until you are at least 16 to attend an offline event, and to some people that's pushing it. Post-quarantine, there really wasn't a cut and dry time of when it was okay to run offline events again, so the organizers were somewhat apprehensive. Something had to start the offline events back up again, and that thing was WPLC 2021 in Columbus, Ohio. Around half a year later, Frosty Faustings ran a side event for Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 Swap in early 2022. The most important LAN tournament as of uploading this video has been WPLC 2022 in SoCal. This tournament has directly led to other tournament organizers planning LAN events of their own. Here is a timeline of the post-quarantine offline Tetris scene. July 14th, 2021, WPLC 2021 announced. August 14th, 2021, WPLC 2021 in Columbus, Ohio. October 3rd, 2021, Frosty Faustings announced. January 28th, 2022, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 Swap is ran as a side event in Frosty Faustings in Illinois. March 22nd, 2022, WPLC 2022 was announced, with locations in SoCal and Columbus, Ohio. May 24th, 2022. A reboot to the previous Xeno tournament series is announced, though without a definite tournament date. June 4th, 2022. WPLC happens in SoCal. June 6, 2022, Top Out, a tournament by Puzzle Kingdom and Team TSD, is announced cryptically on Twitter. June 11th, 2022, the Modern Tetris Showdown by Team TSD is announced. The following events are future. July 17th, the Modern Tetris Showdown will happen. August 13th, WPLC Columbus will happen. And January 7th, 2023, Top Out will happen. Not on the list due to a lack of an announcement is a potential LAN in Las Vegas run by Harddrop, also known as Blink. As you can see by the amount of events, there clearly is a demand for events and tournament organizers willing to fulfill this demand. With all the background out of the way, we can get to the reason you clicked on this video. Here's a list of all the reasons offline events are so good. And if you just skip to this part from the intro, this is again all my opinion. This list is: you get to interact with others, it's a positive gaming environment, you minimize internet limitations, and it's a more exciting event overall. As opposed to online events where interaction is relegated to places like Discord and Twitch chat, offline events let you not only talk with others about the tournament, but also get to communicate with your opponents face to face. Talking to people in person is a much more enjoyable experience than through the internet, let alone the psychological benefits of talking to people that most competitive video game players are deprived of. Sitting across the room instead of across the world from the person you're against makes the whole experience significantly less stressful. When online, I tend to find myself seeing my opponent as less of a human who also ones to win and more of an obstacle that I need to overcome in order to move on. While it is possible to do the same thing offline, I find it significantly harder when this quote-unquote obstacle gives you a fist bump and wishes you luck in the match. Take, for example, when I lost to Blarg in WPL SoCal. I still sit in bed at night wide-eyed thinking about this missed drop, but if I was online, my reaction definitely wouldn't have been as nonchalant. This point is pretty much obvious in LAN format. Connecting to your opponent through an Ethernet connection or playing in local multiplayer makes for a significantly smoother experience than playing with a laggy peer-to-peer netcode or through a server. Seeing the faces of competitors while competing makes for a much more interactive and subsequently exciting experience. Instead of just a name, or profile picture if you're lucky, you get to see the players in the act of playing the game. Seeing someone's face while they play tells you a lot more than just a name or a profile picture. You can tell when someone's focused, upset, laughing, or anything else. This makes for a much more exciting viewing experience since it adds a new layer of interactivity to the tournament. I don't think I need to explain why an event being more exciting is a good thing. To summarize this section, the conveniences of playing online coupled with the benefits of being in person make offline events much better than their online counterparts. I hope this video was able to sell you on why offline events are the best, and if not, I hope I was at least able to convey to you why I think offline events are so good. The more observant viewers have probably realized I never addressed the question I posed in the beginning of the video about online events. So, are online events even still viable? I think so. Being a 17-year-old who can barely even afford going to offline events, I think that the barrier of entry to run a tournament would be set too high if nobody joined online events anymore. Even if online events were somehow no longer viable, there still would probably be tournament organizers willing to run online events. If this video gave you an appetite for offline events, I have a document linked in the description with a bunch of past and future offline events you can check out. Thanks for watching another video of mine, and make sure to subscribe to me for more videos.